apologize, you son of a bitch!
Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Bump Boys podcast. Will's actually out tonight, so tonight it'll be just me and Danny. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Hanging in there, sort of shit, but it could be worse.
Yeah, definitely. So this week's show of AEW Dynamite, they promised a new signing, and talking about a Forbidden Door was revealed. So let's get into it. The first segment of the night, they started off a bit differently with an in segment instead of straight into matches. They started off with MJF being crowned king of AEW, basically.
Yeah. He came out with a whole celebration, people carrying him, making out with girls on the ring, posters of the match, him choking out CM Punk. That was mwah.
Dude, I thought that segment was great.
It was great. And then he's like, I got one person to think. And the next thing you know, Wardlow's like, yeah. And he's like, Spears. And he was like, and you see Wardlow in the back just like, wait, what? And he's like, whatever, I'm just going to drink. And next thing you know, CM Punk comes out. You got Darby Allin, Sting coming out. And then MJF's like, hey, we can run this match again, but you got to defeat FTR, but you can't use, what was he referencing him as, like the school shooter or whatever?
Yeah.
He was like, you can't use him, you got to use someone else. So that match ended up going up later on, right?
Yep. And it's funny because CM Punk, if we were watching it during Dynamite, CM Punk was tweeting during Dynamite, like, hey, Samoa Joe, where are you? Like, he kept tweeting, like, free agent wrestlers, where are they? Hey, can you get to Atlantic City?
So I like that. That was a good segment.
I think that led into, what was the first match? I want to say that led to the first match.
Oh, we eventually it led into a Warlord with Shawn Spears versus the Blade. Basic match where Wardlow wins.
Another Wardlow squash match. I'm getting tired of these Wardlow squash matches.
I am, but I do like how they're giving him actual time on like an actual AEW Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
I heard he's been killing out Rampage and Dark and stuff, but I like to see him on actual Dynamite. He has the great look for it too.
I'm trying to get my results up.
After that, we have Penta and Alex. They do a what is it? A promo basically where he digs up his old Penta mask and he says it's time for Penta Oscura, which basically means like the Dark Penta. So we're gonna get the Dark Penta, which is gonna be pretty dope, I think.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
I love Alex, by the way. Alex, like I love Penta, but I love Alex. Alex as his like mouthpiece. Penta doesn't need a mouthpiece, but Alex is like, mwah. Like when I compare him to Paul Heyman, I love Alex more than Paul Heyman at the moment.
Oh yeah, Alex is
man.
really good.
Like I don't know where he came from. He came out of nowhere. Like it was like one day he was just with the Cody Rhodes thing, and next thing you know, it was just perfect. It was like I need Alex and Penta.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's gonna be great. I think Penta's gonna make Penta even more like bigger.
Definitely.
Like help him even without, because his brother might be out for a while. I'm not sure how long.
I think he's gonna be out for a while. I don't think they've left any timeline and stuff like that.
No, I don't think so either.
Did you want to go into the next part with the Inner Circle?
Yeah, sure. We'll do the Inner Circle. So the Inner Circle had like a mandatory meeting, or as Jericho called it.
I love it. They're mandatory meetings.
Because make them show up. Honestly, I thought this segment was really good. It really pushed Santana on Ortiz's character. This is a really good episode of Dynamite with character building.
Yeah, Santana got like his promo game was good. Like the fact it was the small things he did, such as he would have a pause moment, and then Jericho would pull the mic up to speak. And he's like, I'm not finished. Close your mouth and stuff like that. why are you raising that microphone? Put that down. I'm not done talking to you. And you see Jericho just like, okay.
Definitely. And then you had
you can go.
You had Sammy Guevara walk out during it, basically saying, "We're supposed to be a family. I'm sick of this bickering, like what families do. I don't know what kind of family Sammy is, but families bicker all the time."
Yeah, he was like, you bicker all the time. I quit this group again one time, and I'll do it again.
And then he walked out.
And then eventually, they set up a match with Jericho and Hager versus Santana and Ortiz. I will say Jericho did have some good digs. I did like how he didn't say like, Santana, you have a temper, and that reminds me of Eddie. I love it, but maybe I got the wrong members of LAX. He said, "Jake, don't you got Homicide and Hernandez?" And he started choking them. I was like, "Yo." I was dying, bro. When I saw that stuff,
I could see Hager turning on them, on Jericho next week.
I can see Hager turning, like, just getting pissed and like raging on everyone, and just you keep fighting. I'm done.
Oh yeah, Hager needs it because Hager could be a big star too. Or do you think he's too late?
He's quiet.
Oh yeah, he's way too. I noticed that he's not as talkative, and
he's been quiet lately. like he didn't talk at all during the segment, and at one point he's throwing in a match with Jericho. He didn't say anything at all, and he's like, "You know what? You two can fight us." And he looked at I'm looking at Hager like, "Hager, you didn't say anything."
They're gonna call like the Inner Circle Civil War.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have like an MCU or something.
Yeah, we're gonna have like an. I think Tony Khan's watching Marvel too much.
After that, we had
I think we had was it the
the Faces of the Revolution qualifying match?
One more thing about that. Yep. We had them talking about why they're being so thing to Eddie Kingston. Like they were talking about in that segment why they're like, "Oh yeah, me and Eddie go back." They're like, "Oh yeah, us and Eddie go way back."
Yes.
With Kingston. So that was really.
He was like, what has he done for you in AEW? He's like, I'll give you a quick answer. It's nothing. You guys are just coming up shorter. So.
Yeah, so definitely. I think the next segment was. What's the next segment? The promo with the Outside.
Yes. The big one. One of the big
first
surprises.
Big reveal. The big reveal.
The big one.
You think that one's bigger than Keith Lee?
I'm not surprised on it happening. I was expecting it to happen, but I think Keith Lee's was bigger. But I think you can just go right into it. What happens?
So yeah, then we had Jay White come out. Then Jay White walked up to approach them of the Young Bucks attacking. I think Trent Beretta.
Attack Trent.
Yeah, of Best Friends. So we had that, and then they walked up. You can see Adam Cole smiling. If you pause it right when he's coming up, Adam Cole smiling.
Yeah, he's cheesing.
Yep, he's smiling, and then the Young Bucks have this look on your face like, what the?
Yep, I saw that.
And then the next match you had, and then that led into the match. So how do you think that's
this was one of the best things of the night?
What do you mean, Keith Lee's spot?
Yeah, do you want me to go into this one?
Yeah, you can do the Keith Lee.
All right, so we got Isaiah Cassidy coming out. Matt Hardy's there with him, and next thing you know, we get Keith
something
Lee
to talk
coming
about
out
after this match because there's some symbolism with Matt. If you noticed it, there's symbolism with Matt at the end of the match or during the match.
Yeah, so I love it because Keith gets in his face, he starts talking trash, and then next thing you know, he pushes him in the corner. Keith Lee ends up launching this man.
Him.
like 10, 12 feet in the air. That's just Cassidy being talented and Keith, being the strong guy he is. So it was a great visual. That man threw him half across the ring, and that was just mwah.
Oh yeah, that was a great match in general. I think that was the correct signing. I think that was the correct person to debut there.
What else we get?
And I'm gonna predict it right now. He wins the ladder match.
Oh, I would love that.
And I think he goes on and basically murders Sammy.
It was that match is crazy, but I like how eventually Cassidy got some work in. He hit the tornolino off out of the ring and stuff like that. He hits him with an enziguri. No, he attempts the enziguri, but it misses. But just the pop up. What was it?
Oh, the bomb. My favorite part about this whole Keith Lee is they said no fucks to WWE. They used his old ring gear, and I think it's basically a remix version of his NXT theme. They did not care at all. It's literally AEW's literally turning into NXT 1.5.
Well, he used to be down in the Indies. He used to be Limitless Keith Lee.
Yeah, I know. I knew he was that in the Indies.
But his gear, all his gear was stuff we literally saw before the Bearcat.
It's funny.
I was like, yo, wait, hold up a second.
You guys didn't even get him new gear. You just gave him the same gear.
But oh my gosh. You want to go into the Matt Hardy?
Yeah, sure. Matt Hardy walked out in the middle of the match to symbolize Jeff walking out of WWE. You didn't realize? Did you realize that?
I heard people in the comments are like, it's funny how Matt left because they called it erratic behavior. Yeah, and then people were like, erratic behavior, just like your brother Jeff. And I was like, yo, come on, man. I was like, that was unnecessary.
No, but that's what.
But maybe that's where it leads into, he Matt versus Keith, and then eventually, Hardy comes in, and now it's the Hardy Boys versus Keith Lee. I think that would be a fun little feud.
Do you think? I don't want to see Matt. I don't want to see Jeff in this ladder match.
What if Jeff costs Keith the match?
Oh, to get them into a feud? Maybe.
But
yeah, that led into we had that, and then Keith Lee basically huge pop. Do you think he should have got a bigger one, or do you think that crowd was kind of light?
I think it should have been bigger. It definitely seemed like it should have been, but I feel
like this show was a little lackluster. I thought the crowd was lackluster. I don't know what it was for this Atlantic City. I don't think Atlantic City was the best choice.
But here we'll go for our final review at the end. Next we have was it FTR with Tully Blanchard versus CM Punk and his mystery man, who is
Jon Moxley. Honestly, that was a good match. Honestly, I thought it was. For a second, I thought they were going to throw in another one. I thought they were going to go and throw in Joe. Did you thought they were going to throw in Joe for a second?
I don't think so. When I saw that they just brought Jay White, and then immediately they followed up with Keith Lee. I was like, okay, that's done. It's over. There's no more we need to be debuting at that tonight. So, save it for something else. But the match was pretty good. I like FTR. FTR always sells and does really interesting things.
Oh yeah, especially the ending. What was really good was the ending when they both hit the Panama shift and go to sleep with each other. That was on point.
Lovely.
That was very good.
Punk and Mox get the pinfall. Next, we get the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill versus
basically destroys this little girl.
Yeah. So and still champ. Jade Cargill.
Oh, she's not gonna lose it for a while. I don't see her losing it. At least.
And then
I don't know who they take off of her with her. I don't know who they would have be good enough to beat her. I'm not sure. That's an interesting one.
What else we had? Oh, there was a little promo where the Bucks asked Cole what's going on with Jay White? Him and Omega, they've been enemies, and he was like, Jay's never steered us wrong, but while we are elite, we're also Bullet Club. And
he's like Bullet Club. He's like Bullet Club forever. He's like once Bullet Club, always Bullet Club.
So he's like, we can trust him. So now it's like
it's funny.
Now we got the elite versus the Bullet Club.
And I find that funny if you know the history of the Bullet Club with all these members. They all got kicked out. They all got kicked out.
Exactly.
Adam Cole got kicked out.
It's like the new version of the NWO. Anyone and everyone is part of it. And then I'm gonna skip past the 5-minute rookie challenge skip.
Yes.
Let's go right to the main event. We got Hangman Adam Page versus the Murder Hawk Lance Archer in a Texas death match for the
honestly, I have some. I liked it, but I have some complaints.
Okay, let's hear it.
I want to see if I match your. Do you have complaints? Did you like it?
I do have some complaints, but
I didn't like.
If you want, I can do a quick overview of it, and then we can go into complaints and what they did right.
Okay. You can do a quick overview.
So throughout the whole match, they got rid of the turnbuckles, the top one. So at that point, Page can't hit the moonsault lariat, the buckshot lariat. We get a couple things where, what was it? I noticed they were doing it was almost like a last man standing type match. At one point, they hit
Is that what a Texas death
what was
match
it?
is? Is that what a Texas death match is? It's like a.
I have no idea. But at one point, Art Page is coming back, hits Lance Archer with Kendo stick. He just snaps it. We get a brutal spot where he hits the
Is that the one
what is
where,
it called?
Is that the spot where Page hit his head off the fucking pole and then the turnbuckle? Where it looked like he almost died.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out what his move is called where he not the cowboy kick. It's where he hit him on the stairs.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I just forgot what it's called. Fuck.
Blackout. The blackout.
Oh, okay.
He hits the blackout on there. We get, before that, he stabs him with a fork, starts eating it, It was some weird shit. Eventually, Archer loses by Page hitting the buckshot lariat. Mm-hmm. Using the ref, he just does a flip over the ref, parkour for a buckshot lariat.
and then over the rope.
Yeah, and then he wins via knockout or, because he didn't make the count.
Honestly, this match made no sense at some point. It has some great spots.
I had some good photo moments, you know what I'm saying? It had Lance Archer looked amazing. Lance Archer looks amazing. The only issue I have with Adam Page is I feel like they do the bloody spot for him way too often. I feel like he's always getting bloodied. He's always, I don't know. This was a big guy he needed to face for his title reign, and I understand.
Honestly,
that, I was a big Archer fan going into this year. I know he wasn't going to win it, but
honestly, I think this is done. I think Page is done.
Really?
I think Cole. I think Cole is the one that gets him.
And then Cole ends up coming out, putting it on the shoulder. What were some of your complaints about the match?
I think some complaints is I didn't like how they squashed Adam Page for 90% of this match.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes on his little John Super Cena type bullshit where he comes out and then wins even after Archer's completely killed him.
Yep.
And didn't that get annoying?
it seemed like he was pulling the stuff out of nowhere, and everything he hit was super effective.
Yes. And it felt like he was only hitting small stuff, and Archer was just destroying him. And then Archer would like go on a big attack.
But I don't know, for Texas Deathmatch, you know, I was thinking like it would be a little more violent, a little more.
I thought it would be a lot more crazier.
Yeah.
I feel like yes.
It was also weird. It was in Atlantic City.
Yes, I think that this match was. I give it. It was okay. I mean, they've had better death matches.
Yeah.
In AEW. Alone.
It wasn't a bad match. I've definitely seen worse.
Oh yeah.
But I think ever since
I think it was better than the Orange Cassidy Lights Out, Adam Cole Lights Out match.
The
one from
it was good. I feel like this one had its moments. So like,
this one was kind of ridiculous too. They both were kind of ridiculous.
I think the blackout and the steel steps, that was just amazing. Like that was just my favorite spot of the night.
Or the buckshot lariat through the table.
I wasn't even a fan of that one. I thought that was stupid. I was like, this man's gone through so much more. Like one table. I was just like, I don't know. But,
honestly, I thought it wasn't bad.
So I know.
And then the match ends. Adam Cole comes out, looking at the title, holding up the title, and then lays the title on him. And then turns his back.
And I love how they're like, he basically said like, so it looks like I'm next or something. And then right after commentary, well, that just muddies up the title scene or whatever. And I was like, not really. It kind of was like, he's the number one contender. He was like, yeah, but I don't think it just works like that. And then I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Like,
that's how it works.
I was like, that's how it works. That's what you're supposed to be promoting. What the hell?
That's what you're told. That's what their whole system, everything counts.
Yeah, it was just one of those weird things.
Like, oh my God, WWE.
So I know I'm always like, I hate debuts. Jay White's debut, I see, is to further a storyline, which I understand. Jay White's debut is something that it's like, it's not super. I don't really care about it too much. Later on down the road, it can make better implications and stuff like that.
Honestly, I could see like a Jay White. I could see like an Elite versus eventual Elite Bullet Club.
The Civil War.
Blood and Guts match. A Blood and Guts match is basically AEW's version of War Games.
Yeah.
That's their version of War Games.
Yeah, I can see that too. And then the debut that was done right, I think, was Keith Lee. Keith Lee's debut was done good. It wasn't crazy over the top.
Oh, it wasn't.
The crowd killed it.
The crowd
killed the show.
The crowd sucked. The crowd killed the show. I don't know why
they just didn't give a fuck. It was terrible.
I don't know why. I don't know why people just didn't give a fuck about it. I don't know why Atlantic City just didn't give a fuck.
When they shoot the camera and they show people's reaction, everyone was like going for their phone, and then there was a couple people who were like, oh my God, it's Keith Lee. And then there was some people who were like, huh, like who is this?
Like they're very confused. Just like yes, it's the guy that was in WWE 90 days ago.
It's Bearcat. But I will say, on a side note, Keith Lee just debuted in AEW, but also congratulations, Keith Lee, on his marriage with Mia Kim, right? Mia Yim, sorry. I always mix them up.
Yeah.
Mia Yim. So congratulations on that, Keith Lee. Proud of you on that. I'm pretty sure you guys are both happy.
Yeah. They've been together for a while.
That's about it.
That was a quick honeymoon. I think
man.
They literally debuted 4 days later.
And I think that's about it. Is there any last minute thoughts you got for about AEW?
Not really. That was it wasn't bad. Honestly, I give it a 7.5.
Okay. I'm feeling a little generously. I'm gonna give it like a 7.8.
Okay. I think the crowd kind of killed it from being like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, the crowd. If the crowd was on it, they had a really good show. They wrote a really good show. The crowd would have bumped it up to like an 8.59.
You and Will can totally agree with this. When you're watching AEW, the 2 hours goes like this.
It's quick.
Dude, when you watch, and then you watch like a SmackDown, it drags.
Oh my god, it drags forever.
Raw drags so bad.
Raw is terrible. Like I've gotten to the point where I'll watch it. I'll watch the Raw, but if there's points where I'm like, hey, there's something better I could be doing, I'll look at it and it's like, well, I'm just gonna watch it on YouTube later on, and I'm not gonna be missing much.
No,
I don't want to miss the rest.
It's really bad when you can watch the clips beforehand before you can come on like the stream to like
exactly.
compare.
And that's why I feel like what Raw is and SmackDown. I feel like once every often you'll get something good by watching it live. But even then, I tried watching it live a couple weeks ago, and I was like, wow, I could. The clips basically showed me everything I needed to see.
Oh yeah, it's funny when you do that. Like you can watch, and then AEW, it's just quick 2 hours.
Yeah, well, there's so much wrestling product. Think about it. There's like you gotta manage your time. Like time is one of the most valuable things in the world. So us devouring this information, you got to go with the clips sometimes, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I've skipped over a couple of them just because I just need a break. I just can't sit through a whole Raw for this.
Exactly.
You need a week off from Raw. It's just like, oh my god. Like I can miss the segment between the tag titles that are never defended.
Facts. But I think that was a good review. This is Joe.
SmackDown tomorrow night, and possibly I think we'll want to start doing Rampage. That means we won't record till like 11.
Maybe, but anyway, guys, like it wasn't a bad AEW. It wasn't a bad crowd killed it. Other than that, we'll should be on our next podcast.
Oh yeah, you should be back tomorrow.
But again, this has been Joe.
Dan, Swaggerbomb 92.
And signing out.
See you. Peace.
Must bid you adieu, a goodbye, mwah, and good night. Oh my God, it's so great. Bang! Yes!